The honorary degree will now be conferred. Mr. President, will you present the honorary degree candidate, Mr. Gibson?
A little bit more. Mr. Chancellor, it is my honor to introduce William Gibson. Exceptional authors encourage us to see the world anew, and William Gibson is such a writer, one who has transformed the genre of science fiction and given us insight not only into our future, but also into our present. Born in the United States, William Gibson chose to make Canada his home. After completing a degree in English literature at UBC, he remained in Vancouver, where he embarked on a career that more than 30 years later is still in ascendance. His early work heralded a writer concerned about the dystopic intermingling of technology and society. In Neuromancer, his prescient first knowledge, published in the Orwellian year 1984, he introduced the concept of cyberspace and explored the effect of huge multinational corporations on society. In this and the subsequent two novels that comprise the Sprawl trilogy, he gave us a disturbing view of tomorrow. Neuromancer instantly became part of our cultural vocabulary, and William Gibson was named the godfather of cyberpunk. The book won the Hugo, Nebula, and Philip K. Dick Awards, and Time magazine included it in its list of the 100 best English language novels of the last century. William Gibson's art continued to evolve in both style and content, his ironic sense attracting an ever-widening audience to his impeccably imagined short stories, novels, performance art pieces, and screenplays. His alternate history novel, The Difference Engine, a collaboration with the writer Bruce Sterling, is considered a central work of steampunk, a subgenre of science fiction, and it was nominated for both the Nebula and the John W. Campbell Memorial Awards. There followed the Bridge trilogy, its futuristic setting exploring recurring themes such as technological and spiritual transcendence. With the advent of the new century, William Gibson turned his keen eye from the future to the present. In pattern recognition, he dissects global consumer culture with devastating precision. And in Spook Country, he again takes an unflinching look at contemporary society. With these two works, he proved himself to be as insightful about the chaotic present as he has been about an imagined tomorrow. For his speculative fictions, William Gibson has earned the admiration of an international audience, and today we pay tribute to an author whose work has added new dimensions to the body of Canadian literature. Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of this university, I ask that you now confer upon Mr. William Gibson the degree Doctor of Letters honoris causa.
William Gibson, by the virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa. Mr. Gibson will be hooded by Dr. John Waterhouse, Vice President, Academics, and Ms. Kate Ross, Registrar.
Congratulations, Dr. Gibson.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
It is with pleasure that I now call on Dr. William Gibson for his convocation address.
Thank you. It's a singular honor to be here today and to receive this degree. I thank the Senate and the university and offer all of the graduates and their parents my sincerest congratulations. When I was very young, I read that the phrase, "May you live in interesting times," was actually an ancient Chinese curse. This attribution was and is completely untrue. The phrase is now assumed to have been the creation of an Englishman, Ernest Brahma, an Edwardian novelist specializing in pseudo-Oriental fantasy, though I've never seen definitive proof of that either. We do live in interesting times, though, and I can only imagine that times will eventually be even more interesting for today's graduates. Ernest Brahma, if indeed it was he, supposedly presented "May you live in interesting times" as the first of 3 curses of increasing severity. The next 2 are, "May you come to the attention of those in authority," and "May you find what you are looking for." In our newly digital society, we are all increasingly likely, if only as a matter of course, to come to the attention of those in authority. Some view this today as something looming and Orwellian, but I tend to imagine that it will increasingly work both ways, and that those in authority will come to our attention, most often wishing they hadn't. It is increasingly difficult for anyone at all, to keep a secret. In the age of the leak and the blog entry, of evidence extraction and link discovery, truths will either out or be outed later, if not sooner. This is something I happily bring to the attention of every statesperson, political leader, and corporate head. The future eventually will find you out. Your secrets won't be kept. The future, wielding currently unimaginable tools of transparency, will know exactly what you did. Should any of you find yourself a statesperson, political leader, or corporate head, I advise you to keep that in mind. I say truths, however, and not truth, as the other side of information's new ubiquity looks not so much transparent as crazy. Regardless of the number and power of the tools used to extract patterns from information, any sense of meaning depends on context, with interpretation coming along in support of one or another agenda. A world of informational transparency will necessarily be one of deliriously multiple viewpoints, shot through with misinformation, disinformation, conspiracy theories, and a quotidian degree of madness. We may be able to more clearly see what's going on, but that doesn't mean we'll agree about it any more readily. That alone will make for sufficiently interesting times. And of course, we all know as a species, we've got a lot more going on as well. So these are particularly good times, it seems to me, in which to have acquired an education, and I congratulate you again on having already done that. That said, and having long since decided that these are not curses, unless we choose to look at them that way, allow me to wish that each of you, in some very good, some deeply enjoyable and satisfying way, finds what you're looking for. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gibson.